Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We've got a whole lot on the show this evening. I will be looking at stories that concerns Nigeria, and we must talk about our own. If we don't talk about it, then no one will help us to talk about it. Yes, it is what it is, and we'll be looking at some stories quite interesting this evening. And I've got on the show a regular. Now he's becoming a regular. A guest on the show, that is Omonile Lasun, joining me this evening. Welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV.
Thank you so much. It's always great to be here.
I love your smile. Okay, let's start from this particular story. Table tennis this time around, where the World Table Tennis Body has sanctioned Arna Kadri and fined the sum of $5,000. His offense is that he missed 2 matches.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. I think as a Nigerian, as a follower of sport, you always have to root for someone like Kodri. And then the claim that he missed two tournaments. His excuses was first one he got, I think he had diarrhea.
Yes.
And then the second one he was busy with his club competition. So it's just quite unfortunate, and I'm hoping that they are able to resolve that in a way, because he said he's going to appeal at the Court of Arbitration for Sports. So hopefully that comes out well, because that is not a good look for him as an athlete, and that's not a good look for his fans as well, and his well wishers. I understand why what table tennis might want to find him, but at the end of the day, you have to find some sort of a middle ground here. Because if someone says they are sick and injured and cannot
force them to come and play?
Of course, you can't force them to come and play. And let's be honest, diarrhea is a very, very serious, serious problem. You cannot play sports with diarrhea.
At all.
So hopefully there's a middle ground there, and then they're able to see their way out of this. You don't want to see this on your CV as someone who was fined at some point.
In your career. And this is not the first time the WTT will be coming for Aruna Kadri. The first time they came, and he was able to get through it.
Yes.
But this time around, still coming the same issue that he missed tournaments and what have you. Why are they so? I don't know why Aruna Kadri this time. Like you said, I think both of them should find a very plain ground where they can balance all sides.
Yeah, you don't want to start feeling like this money is being targeted for whatever reason.
I think, in my own opinion.
Well, for now, I'm giving the WTC some benefit of the doubt, but it's becoming like a little bit like they are picking on him, which is unfortunate for an athlete of his caliber and his years of experience. But like, again, hopefully the cars, although personally as a person, as a sports lover, I don't like it when judges and courts get involved in sports. There's a reason why government and sport are usually separate. So I don't really like, apart. So I don't really like it when judges and courts start getting involved in stuff like this. But hopefully cars can resolve it, and then let's see if the board members, whatever people who are in charge of the WTT, can explain to Aruna Kadri whatever it is they have against him, so that they can resolve all these issues.
Okay, definitely. The WTT body just have to explain to Aruna Kadri what it is, and we can move on from there. Africa #1, and we know what happened at the Paris Olympic Games, but that's story for another day. But at the end of the day, the WTT body, well, we'll find a solution, whatever it is, they should settle all of this. Let's move away from table tennis. This time around, that's the ping pong game, and talk football. We'll start with the women's football in Nigeria. That is the Nigerian Women's Football League, the 2024 NWFL Championship, where teams have to play to promote to the elite division. That's the first team. We have about 19 teams. Before we react, let's just go through those teams. You can see their logo on the screen. We have Pelican Stars, who are the host team. That the competition will be played in Calabar. We have Dream Stars FC Ladies. We have Oshun Babes. We have Ibon Majors of Akwa Ibom State. We have Imo Striker Queens. We have Delta Babes. We have Honey Badgers. We have Fortunes Ladies FC. We have Gallant Queens. We have Unification Queens. We have West Bank International SA. We have Heroes Queens, we have Papa Queens, we have Choosing Generation, we have Castmore Queens, First Mahi Queens, Quara Ladies, Moji Queens FC, all of them Queens. And definitely they will be playing 19 of them will be playing for the Premiership, the Nigerian Women's Football League promotion.
Yeah, first of all, I'm glad that Trust TV is covering this very important issue. Women's football, so for some reason, has been relegated to the background in this country. So I'm grateful that Trust TV is beaming a spotlight on the women's game. That's number one. And number two, I'm actually glad that a lot of those teams are privately owned.
Yes,
the problem we have in this country, unfortunately, has been that a lot of our football teams are government owned, and they've somehow been shifted to not so important.
They look at sport. Permit me to say this. They look at sport as a compensation ground.
Yeah, something like that. Unfortunately, and I keep repeating it over and over again. We are a sports-loving country. 200 million people in this country, a vast majority of us, we love football, we love all these other sports, and we follow it. And football has proven over the years and in all other countries that it can be a juggernaut, for a money-making juggernaut, which should be explored, especially when you have a population as large as ours. I mean, look at what Brazil is doing with football. Look at even what the United States of America is doing. So
athletics.
With athletics. So I'm glad that spotlight is being on these ladies, and I'm glad that a lot of those teams are privately owned. And I'm wishing them all the success, wishing them all the best in the competition, and hopefully we get the best teams to come out on top, and then give them good luck more in the league, which is where they will
yes, of course. Okay, 19 of them will be slugging it out at Calabar, that is in Cross River State. We have Pelican Stars, who are one household name when it comes to women's football. They're one of the oldest women's football team we have in the country. So they will be fighting for promotion, 19 of them. The likes of Oshun-based Dream Stars FC. Already we have a team from FCT who is playing in the Nigerian Women's Football League, the top division, elite division. That is Niger Ratters of Abuja. They also went through this promotion and they are there. So we need more teams from the FCT to play in Nigerian Women's Football League. So 19 of them. Let's see how it ends at the end of the day. We know that this competition would be definitely bring out the best from all of these teams, like Delta Babes of Delta States. We have Delta Queens. So two teams from that particular region.
Yes, that sort of rivalry sometimes, that sort of competition amongst yourself brings out the best in you. Look at some of the biggest teams in the world. Sometimes what pushes them is that local rivalry, that local tugging.
Like Madrid, Atletico Madrid, you have Man U, exactly. Man City, Arsenal, all of the London teams, Chelsea, Fulham.
Yeah. I mean, they push each other. They make each other better. You see, Aston Villa, Birmingham. You start getting some competition for stars, competition for the fans, and then you are forced basically to improve your game, which hopefully will happen for the Delta girls.
Okay, definitely it will happen for Delta Babes of Asaba. All right, now let's move from the women and talk the men's football. Yes, we are preparing for the Nigerian Premier Football League. We know on the 31st has been set aside for match day 1, and that is the kickoff of the new season, the 2024-2025 season in the Nigerian Premier Football League. But this time around, I think the league body is doing all it can to have a very good season. One of those steps, one of those initiatives is where they've organized a seminar for the security people, that is club owners and everybody, fans alongside, for them to know what it is. And one person, that is Davis in Owumi, that is the CEO of the Nigerian Premier Football League, says this seminar will actually bring peace and order to match venues.
Yeah, the operative word there being order. There are too many images in my head right now as I think about these things of some of the unfortunate events that have happened, transpired in Nigerian football. I mean, there are some that sound not too bad, where fans are overcrowding the stadiums, and some that are unfortunate, where we are seeing violence. People attacking players, people attacking the referee, and all of that. And I think I like the concept of this seminar, and especially the people that they brought together. They brought the fans supporters club, they brought the security officials, and then they brought the chairman, the various clubs. And then they are teaching them and letting them know, see, we have to bring order to our league. Our match venues have to be safe.
Yes,
people
of
have
course.
to feel safe coming into these venues. Women and children, young people have to feel safe coming into these venues, and they have to come in with the hope that they are going to be entertained. When you come in like that, you can then start attracting other fans. You don't want to be thinking, oh, a football venue is not a war zone for crying out loud.
Please, that's just the truth.
The peace and the orderliness is very much needed, and I applaud this initiative.
Yes, a very good initiative. We've been saying this some times ago on our sports show on Trust TV, as actually suggested it. Seminars regularly should be organized for all of the teams, the fans, and everybody. Football is a game of peace, and we know football, sports in general, brings people together. If you understand that, go to the stadium whenever Nigeria Super Eagles is playing, Super Falcons, any of the Nigerian team, and you will know what peace is all about. When we say sports bring unity, you actually experience it. I remember that was 2009 when we hosted the Under-17 World Cup. For about 2 weeks, I was having some sounds in my ear because Vuvuzela was everywhere at this stadium when Nigeria played Switzerland in the final.
It was brilliant. That entire tournament was brilliant. It feels like several decades ago now, but that tournament was absolutely amazing.
Yes, of course. So we just have to use sports to foster unity in this part of the world. Now let's leave the Nigerian Premier Football League and look at this story. Over the weekend, it was a good news in the course of last week, where we have one of our own, after 5 years banned from FIFA. Definitely, he's now a free man. And Samson Siasa said, I was not allowed to defend myself when this whole issue started. He was involved in match fixing. That was what the investigation actually brought out. And at the end of the day, after all, there was celebration, the return of the legend and what have you. Now he's saying he was not allowed, as in to at least say his own side of the story.
I mean, that's unfortunate. It brings me back to the Quadri story. You don't want these guys to feel like they are being targeted, right? When you hear match fixing in football, it gets your blood boiling as a football fan. You want to assume that our game is fair, our game is open, and nobody is cheating and doing anything behind the curtains. But when Samson Siasa comes out after 5 years ban to say he was not even given a chance to defend himself, that begins to raise some eyebrows, right? I mean, after all, even terrorists are given a chance to defend themselves. Let the man come and explain let him face his accusers. Let him see what the accusations are, and let him be able to explain himself. Obviously, as a football fan, as a Nigerian, I'm glad that Samson Siasa is back. Like you said, he's an absolute legend of the game.
Yes,
and one of our best coaches. So hopefully he's able to put the last 5 years behind him, and then maybe there's still something for him in the future. I mean, I was reading the interview where he was saying things like he has spent the last over 1,000 days, preparing, getting to know more of the game and educating himself, and hopefully there's still a bright future in football for Samson Siasa. I mean, the Super Eagles are looking for a coach.
Okay, someone says it's too early to actually just throw Samson Siasa into the Super Eagles, but in my own opinion, well, if he's given a chance, we believe he can do it. He's one of the best coaches in the last 10 years we've had in this country. 5 years in the wilderness, but he's back, he's out. And I love what he said during the interview. He didn't just stay back, he was also updating himself. And that is a very smart one coming from Samson Siasa, because some persons will just sit back, relax, and say, okay, let me just allow these 5 years to roll. But no, he was still there. A couple of times I've been to the stadium, I've been with him. Even on that particular day when this ban expired, we had a chat together. And all the times I see him at the National Stadium, MKO Stadium here, he's always busy with football. You see him also doing some workout behind the scene.
Let's not forget, this is a brilliant man with a brilliant career. I mean, this past 5 years has been a stain on his career, no doubt. But let's not forget under 20 in 2005. Let's not forget the Olympics in 2008.
Yes, of course.
Samson Siasa is a legend of the game as far as Nigeria is concerned. And if it's true what he's saying, that he was not given a chance to defend himself, let's assume the last 5 years has gone. Let's give him a clean slate. And like you said, to his credit, it could be depressing. It can actually be depressing if you are giving 5 years is a very, very long time. A very long time, especially in sports where your career can only take, I mean, as a player, you only have like maybe 15, 20 years to play the game.
exist.
So that's 25% of a footballer's career taken out of something serious career. Coaching. So let's give him some space. Let's give him some praise for what he has done. And I'm hoping for him. I'm rooting for him that he comes out on the other side bigger, better, and brighter than he was.
Yes, bigger and brighter than he was. If you remember, Beijing 2008, he was there when we won a bronze medal in the Olympic Games, becoming one of the coaches, one of the best in the country. All right, let's move away from Sansu Siasa and come back to the continent. Let's look at a story where Nigerian teams continue to do, in fact, they continue to perform poorly on the continent, if you ask me, for some of them, though, not all of the teams. Academy Warriors out of the CAF Confederations Cup. Enyimba will take on Etoile de Filante of Burkina Faso in the second round of the CAF Confederations Cup. This is the second tier of CAF Cup.
Yeah.
And for Academy Warriors, after they played the 1-1 draw here in Nigeria and they went away, it was not a good story for El Kanemi, and we thought at least we'll have our 4 teams complete on the continent. Remo Stars themselves are out. Rangers is true, and we'll have just 2 of them left on the continent.
I genuinely feel bad for El Kanemi Warriors, because at the end of the day, to me, it feels like they played 2 away games, because even their quote and unquote home game was played away
from home.
And then when you study what their opponent did, I understand they actually gave out free tickets to fans in the
come to the stadium. Trooping. You have to. If you see, if you look at that clip, you know that yes. If you have not been to that stage, you might just freeze out.
Of course, they mean business. I mean, think of the famous yellow wall of Dortmund. Think of teams like Crystal Palace,
Liverpool.
Thank you.
You can never walk alone.
Think of the Turkish guys. How some of those their ultras. How inspiring they can be. So those kind of stages can be very intimidating. So we have to get our football teams playing in their home field, and we have to get the fans behind them. That's what I feel the opponents had over El Kanemi Warriors. Of course, we're grateful for those that we have. We're grateful for Rangers. We're grateful for Enyimba. But unfortunately, El Kanemi and Remo Stars are out, and we have to go back to the drawing board and see what we can do better going forward.
Okay, do better going forward for Remo Stars. They are playing the Champions League, but they lost to AS FAR of Morocco 2-0 in the reverse fixture of that particular game. For Enugu Rangers, it was 2-1 against Comoros team, that is Limadojo, in the CAF Champions League. So let's see how far Rangers and Enyimba can go far on the continent. All right, let's go straight to Europe. It was match day 1 in the German Bundesliga. We had games played on match day 1, and we know we have our Nigerian players who are also playing their trade in Germany. But for one player, the defending champion Victor Boniface was fined and banned for 1 game, and thank God in match day 2 we'll see Victor Boniface. Let's run over the result quickly before let's react to it. We have Wolfsburg lost to Bayern Munich under their new coach, that is Vincent Kompany. First game in charge, competitive game, 3-2 against Wolfsburg. We have St. Pauli, a team that just got promoted to the league, lost to Heidenheim 2-0 or so. And then we have Augsburg and Werder Bremen playing the 2-2 draw. Freiburg 3, Stuttgart 1, Hoffenheim 3, Holstein Kiel also lost that game 3-2. And they too are just coming to the league, got promoted recently. Menzo 5 and Union Berlin played a 1-1 draw. RB Leipzig 1, Bochum 0. We have Borussia Dortmund and Eintracht Frankfurt lost to Borussia Dortmund 2-0 at the Iduna Park Stadium. Like Omonile rightly mentioned, the yellow, if you go to that stadium, you know what the yellow color stands for. Borussia Mönchengladbach and Bayer Leverkusen, the defending team, they continue to come from behind. Where the way they ended last season, they have started the season, because in the German Super Cup, 10 men winning that game via penalties. This time around, from behind, they came back to beat Borussia Mönchengladbach 3-2. Our Victor Boniface was not part of that game.
Yeah, I think Bayer Leverkusen, they are developing a pattern. First of all, it's great to see a team do very well last season, and then they're almost picking up. But maybe a trick going forward for an opponent of Bayern Leverkusen is don't score. And just wait for them to score first.
Then you can score.
Because if you score for Bayern Leverkusen, they are almost definitely coming back. Except when they are playing against Ademola Lookman, then they can't come back.
Well, that game against Ademola Lookman, I believe, let's just go back to that a little bit. I believe they lost focus because they weren't expecting that kind of performance from Atlanta.
Of course, maybe they got a little bit complacent. I mean, there was a friendly
carried
match.
away.
Yeah, carried away. They got complacent. They got too confident. I mean, before the match was even played, people were already talking about a Super Cup meeting with Real Madrid. But then in football, we always know you play the game in front of you first. You focus on the next game first. You don't project forward.
What is that?
But hopefully they've learned their lessons. They're back now, and hopefully our boy joins them. But if you look at the results, the top three boys seem to be taking the pace again. Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and then Leverkusen.
Also in the mix, Leipzig.
Yeah, of course, Leipzig. The problem Leipzig has is that they are always found of losing quality players as they are making them. So if you can't hold on to your stars, it becomes a little bit difficult to challenge for titles.
I think they are trying to also maybe take a leaf from Borussia Dortmund, who said they are stars, but they keep making new ones.
Yeah, well, the emphasis then stays on making new ones. Are they able to make new? Of course, to be fair, Leipzig has made a lot of stars, but at some point you need to be able to hold on to your best players. I mean, kudos to Bayern Leverkusen. They held on to their coach, Xabi Alonso, despite the interest from Bayern Munich. It seems that they have held on to Jonathan Tah, despite the interest from Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Held on to the Boniface. So if you keep that group together, and let's not forget the midfield maestro Granit Xhaka, they've been able to hold on to their best players. If you hold on to your best players, you can challenge going forward.
Yes, you can challenge going forward. All right, let's go to French Ligue 1. Also, games were played in the course of the weekend for French Ligue 1. PSG continue to do well. Match day 2 in the French Ligue 1, where they hammered Montpellier 6-0. Olympic Lyonnais lost to Monaco 2-0. Luxley beat Angers SCO 2-0. Saint-Etienne lost to Le Havre 2-0. Lens to Brest 0. We have Nantes, Moses Simon getting on the score sheet in that game against Auxerre. It was 2-0. Nice and Toulouse played the 1-1 draw. Strasbourg and Rennes played 3-1. 3 for Strasbourg, 1 for Rennes, and Olympique Marseille and Reims played 8-2 draw. It was also a fantastic weekend in the French Ligue 1.
It's always nice when football is back. It's always nice when football is back, when we have these games week in, week out, and then you can see how these teams are performing. I mean, look at PSG and are not slowing down. Those guys don't seem to be missing Kylian Mbappe at all. They're firing on all cylinders. They've been able to bring their team to play compact. I'm a big fan of their coach, by the way.
Okay. I know you will.
So let's see. I mean, it's always nice when football is back and we are able to see these games.
Yes, it's always nice when football is back. We are still waiting for the Nigerian Premier Football League. That Nigerian Premier Football League will start on the 31st with just one fixture. Let's just look at the table of the French Ligue 1. We have PSG. It's not a surprising one if they are at the top, just 2 games, but we can't say they are going to win the league because it's just 2 games out of 2. But 2 games out of 2, 100% record starting with 2 wins, and they have 6 points, 9 goal difference already. They are running away with because they are churning out the goals. Let's go to the flip side of it quickly, and then we have Lyon and Brest at that particular position. Lyon also last season, this was how they started on this position. Before you know, they found their way out of that place, and Lyon became a team that was fighting for European position.
I'm sure. Well, to be fair, Lyon has always been a big club in France until recently, and let's hope they don't wait for too long to start getting themselves back up. Hopefully, maybe Alexander Lacazette gets back from the Olympics break and is able to join the team and help them. But they will need to do better if they want to challenge for the biggest
Stage.
trophies.
Okay, Lyon used to be one of the best and big teams in French Ligue 1. Now let's look at games that will be coming up tonight. We have a fixture already, some games, but 1 or 2 games are up. But let's look at those games that will be played tonight in all of the top 4 European leagues. We have games coming up today. The likes of, the likes of Villarreal in Spanish La Liga. Those games will be coming up tonight. If we can have that on the screen quickly, we have Villarreal against Celta Vigo, Cagliari against Como. Como is a team under Cesc Fabregas, yes. And then Hellas Verona, Juventus. 2 games in Serie A and 1 in La Liga. Villarreal, Celta Vigo. But let's look at Como, Cagliari, who lost their game to Juve.
Yeah, they didn't have a great start. They were dealt a very wrong hand in their game, and then their star signing Rafael Varane is also injured. But I'm rooting for my boy Cesc Fabregas, who is now a manager, and hopefully he's able to bring something out from that team. I just hope he doesn't throw the part of his company who was trying to play some fancy football and ended up getting his team relegated in the Premier League.
Okay, let's see what Cesc Fabregas will do with Como in the Italian Serie A. Before we go, because we're out of time already, let's look at some transfers. We just run over just 3 of them this evening. Barcelona backs out of Manchester City fullback Jan Cancelo move. I feel for this fantastic young man who was one time a very good player for Man City. And the other one, we have Man City ready to accept offer for midfielder Matheus Nunes, surprising one, a player they just got from Wolves. And then we have the last one this evening, Liverpool eyes Sporting Lisbon Portugal defender Goncalo Inacio. All right, that is what we'll be leaving it on the program this evening. Thanks, Omanile, for joining up on the show.
It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, that is it on Sports Update. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.